I have not had the audio on for it all. God damn it. I have been talking to no one. We're back. Power outage happened, but we're back. If you're wondering what happened in the cutscene, so am I. I didn't get to see it. How the fuck? Cool, I don't want to skip it.
I must touch before maritime police come. We must wait.
Shh. That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the killer to you.
What?
Don't be absurd. This is murder. I need cabin locked from inside.
Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you? And where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Sherlock Sholmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
Sherlock Sholmes. I'm gonna flash to days prior, huh? Ugh, my head is throbbing. What's going on? Something's not right here. Trouble in the air. Am I gonna be convicted of murder again? Wait, I can't move. I'm being convicted of murder again! Ryunosuke cannot catch break, apparently. Why am I in handcuffs? No. Oh. Ah, good, I can do my Russian voice. We had to drag you out of wardrobe. I do not believe how you could not wake up. You are a true cold-blooded man. You found me then. Duh. We found you, and now you pay, criminal. How long were you hiding in the tiny wardrobe, sorry. Now you have been found. It is time to admit your crimes. Unless you want to find out how cold the ocean is, No, I'll tell you everything. There's only one thing I'd like to know from you. Isn't that... Why did you do it? Why did you take his life? Mr. Sato? Wait, what did you just say? Take his life? Where is he? Where's Kazuma? We're convicted of killing Kazuma. This is kind of like in the first game. Okay, sure, yeah, whatever. Except we weren't convicted. It was Maya, but, you know. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Hold on. You pretend you do not know. You are wolves in the sheep. You are wolf in the sheep's belt. You are the killer. Do not try to make excuses. What? Kazuma-sama's body was discovered not long ago. Here, in this very cabin. It was bolted shut from the inside. Oh, hold on one second. His body? Please. Do not try to tell us you are doing this terrible thing in your sleep. Kazuma's dead? But he can't be. And these handcuffs. Surely you don't think I have to know. Why did you take Kazuma-sama's life? Answer me, please! No. No! Kazuma. It was just 2 short weeks ago. Are you sure about this? Won't we get in trouble? Don't you find it fun being a stowaway? Besides, how else would you come to England with me to study? There was really something else when they brought your luggage in here earlier, though. The way the Russian crewman just tossed your traveling case onto the floor? I thought I was going to die. Yes, I still can't quite believe that. I really didn't think you'd be able to fit inside my trunk. I'm gonna close my window. Give me 1 second. One second. I'm gonna turn off my webcam for just a second. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna close my window. Cool. Window's all closed. And we're back. Hold on 1 second. People are
She was scared, Nicholas.
Yeah.
Somebody was scared, so she won't come to you. It's okay, baby. It's okay.
Happened with power earlier. Yeah. What? Yeah, I know. What? Or anything? No. I heard thunder.
Come on, baby.
What's your mama? What's your mama? Please close my door.
It's okay.
It's okay, baby. I realized I muted the wrong audio. Oops. You just heard a good conversation. I guess. You must be even less of a man than you look. Dang, honestly, I thought I'd broken every bone in my body. Well, it's about 50 days until we dock in Britain. But if you confine yourselves in my cabin here, I don't expect anyone will discover you. Ugh, I hope not. I have the feeling those Russians wouldn't be very forgiving of a stowaway. They're a sturdy bunch, that's for sure. What I want to know is, why do we need to keep it a secret from the young lady? From our faithful judicial assistant, Mikitoba, you mean? From your close friend, more to the point. Surely we could confide in her, couldn't we? I don't believe she'd give me away. No, but if she knew what we'd done, it would make her guilty by association. It's best that only you and I know about this. I suppose so. Anyway, it's about the time that the steward is supposed to come in and clean the cabin. I know it's cramped, but you better get in there, I think. It won't be for long. And anyway, compared to hiding inside my traveling case, it's a breeze. Yes, but what if the steward decides to open the wardrobe for some reason? Then I'll be in for it. Stop worrying. I tell you what, why don't you write keep out or something on a piece of paper? What? Then I can stick it over the wardrobe once you're inside. I don't know. Well, we know that's what was on the piece of paper. You've only been at sea for about 15 days. How can this have happened? We were supposed to be going on this adventure to England together. We leave you at next port. Stay quiet until then. Do not make more trouble for yourself. Murderer. No, I'm not a murderer! Duh, you said before. You said you admit everything about your crimes. No, that's not right! I mean, yes, I did stow away on the ship, but murdering my best friend? No one else could have done it. Admit the truth. Susato-san. Please, tell me what happened. I need to know. Very well. But there's something I would like to ask of you, too. Those eyes. She looks like she's ready to destroy me. This nightmare's getting worse by the minute. I suppose all I can do is try to find out what really happened. Kazuma's death. He really has been killed, hasn't he? This isn't just a bad dream? And these handcuffs? You think I did it? You think I'm Kazuma's killer? When they found him, the cabin was locked from the inside. What do you mean? There's no access to the cabin via a porthole window, and the bolts on the door can't be operated from outside. In other words, after the crime, the culprit couldn't have escaped these four walls. What? Or to put it another way, the culprit can only have been somebody inside this cabin. Or do you have some other explanation? This is impossible. How did he die then? What happened exactly? Are you still going to deny the charge, even despite the circumstances? Please, Susato-san, you have to tell me. The cause of death is still undetermined. They don't know how he died? The ship's doctor is examining the body, but of course, he has no port analysis experience. I don't suppose we shall learn more until the expert has been consulted at our next port of call. Presumably that means there were no obvious external signs of injury then. That's true, yes. About the incident. Can't anyone tell me what actually happened here in this cabin? I don't understand it. Why would anyone want to kill Kazuma? Presumably that's something you know the answer to better than anyone. Please. Whatever you say. Whatever you say. You were in here. Whatever you say. You were here in the cabin after all. Well, yes, I was, but... He would always wake before dawn and do his training. First thing in the morning. I was waiting outside his cabin as I have every day so far in this voyage. Oh. But this morning, he did not come. I could sense that he wouldn't. Does that mean he was already dead when Sasato-san arrived at his cabin door, I wonder? I knocked, but there was no reply. Then I started to become worried, so I went to find a member of the crew. The crewman forced the door open, and when he managed to get inside, there was Kazuma-san, collapsed on the floor. And the white tape there shows exactly where he was found, I suppose. I have no idea anything had happened. I must have been asleep in the wardrobe somehow. I wish it wasn't the case, but it's just very hard to believe. This is all very hard to believe for me too, trust me. Now I've told you everything that I know. So it's my turn to ask you a question. Yes, alright. Ugh, my head feels so heavy. It's still throbbing like anything. Why are you even on board this ship, Naruhodo-san? You said something before about being a stowaway, didn't you? Oh, yes. I'm afraid that's true. It's 2 weeks since we left Japan now, so I've been shut up in this cabin in the entire time. I had no idea. But how could you have occupied Kazuma-sama's cabin for so long without him noticing? No, that would have been impossible, obviously. Yes, of course. Kazuma invited me. He wanted us to go to England together. He actually asked you? But why? I'm afraid I don't really know the answer myself. I don't understand. Cosmo, why do you want this? What's the real reason? Why go to such extreme lengths to smuggle me to England with you? We'll be right back. I have to pee. Right back. Alright, we're back. We're back. Hold on. There we go, better. Well, yes, you did say that, but I didn't think you were serious. Oh, he was dead serious. You have a talent for it, I can assure you of that. But I've never really thought about becoming a lawyer. Well, that's something you can decide for yourself. London is at the spearhead of cultural development, the center of the entire world in many ways. There can't be any harm in seeing such an important place with your own eyes, can there? Well, no, definitely not. But on a personal level, I just wanted to fuck you here in the cabin. That's all I wanted. If you were to become a lawyer, then what? Nothing. Forget it. Kazuma-sama he was always saying the same thing. But he wanted to change the Japanese legal system. Perhaps he thought that he could do that with you. Yes, maybe. But something's still bothering me a little. The look in his eyes then. It was darker than I've ever seen it before. Susato-san. I'm sorry we kept it a secret from you. My stowing away on the ship, I mean. If I know Kazuma-sama, I expect he was trying to protect me. To avoid becoming guilty by association. That's exactly right, yes. Words perfect, in fact. If you're not the culprit, then tell me. What happened last night here in the cabin? Well, the thing is, I don't really remember. Kazuma brought me something to eat, just like he always did. And then I got myself into that wardrobe over there, just like I always did. After that, I fell asleep. Well, yes. So deeply that you didn't even stir when Kazuma-sama was killed? Well, yes. I know it sounds unbelievable, really I do, but it's the truth. If only I'd woken up, then perhaps I wouldn't be in this predicament. And for some reason, my head's still throbbing like anything. Really? Is something wrong? Oh, no, it's... Please, forget it. Susato-san, you have to believe me, I didn't do it! I really don't want to doubt you. But the trouble is, there is no one else who could possibly have done this. Ugh. Kazuma. I don't understand why. Why did this have to happen? Ugh, I can't take this. Don't try to go anywhere. You're the perpetrator of this crime. You can't leave. I can't allow that to happen. I'm sorry. But Kazuma was killed right under my nose here. And I didn't do anything to stop it. And now I'm just supposed to sit around, my hands tied, while whoever did this walks free? No, I can't allow that to happen. Well, what do you propose to do then? I'm going to investigate. To find out exactly what happened here. I'm going to work out who took Kazuma's life and how and why they did it. So, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to excuse me. What? That was a Susato takedown. Susato what? What martial art form is that? I'm going to need you to prove it. Sorry? Prove it? Yes, your innocence. I need evidence. But how am I supposed to... Have you forgotten already? What you just achieved a few weeks ago? You successfully defended yourself in a court of law. The lightning shake... The thunder just shook the house. Just a little. But it shook the house. Oh my fuck. Ah, I see. She's expecting to present some conclusive evidence. I have to get Susato-san to believe me. I'll show her some evidence right now that proves I'm not guilty of this awful crime. It's the paper seal I wrote from the wardrobe. I remember really working hard to make it. But I'll never forget how Kazuma reacted. Do you expect a Russian crew to be able to read that? He said. Still, I was sure people would get the idea, even if they couldn't read it. So we used it anyway. And it worked. I don't know if the crew thought it was creepy or what, but no one opened the doors. Okay, nothing useful. I probably just have to present this, huh?
Yes!
Tell me, when was I discovered in the wardrobe before? Was this piece of paper stuck over the doors? Oh, yes, it was. I remember clearly. I thought so. Kazuma always put it in place whenever I went to sleep in there. Just in case the cabin steward or another crew member decided to look inside. So, naturally, he did the same last night as well. Ah! Yes, of course! The gentleman who discovered you peeled that sign from the wardrobe doors before he opened them. But if I were truly the culprit, I couldn't have climbed back inside the wardrobe and stuck this on the outside of the doors on my own. Yes, that's quite true. In other words, it's impossible that I killed Kazuma. Well, even if you are sprawled hopelessly on the floor, I can see why Kazuma-sama thought so highly of you. Thank you, Susato-san. Now, do you think perhaps you could help me up? In light of the evidence, I don't see any reason why I should stop you from investigating in here at least. Thank you. So you finally believe me? I'm sorry, no. What? I'm not sure yet. I can't rule out the possibility that you used some sort of conjuring trick to put the sign back into position. Man, you caught me. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, am a mage. Does she think I am a magician? I'm a wizard. I'm a wizard, Susato. For now, I suggest you investigate as thoroughly as possible in here. I'll do the same. Alright, let's get to work, Susato-san. Please don't misunderstand me. I still have my doubts. Oh. I shall be watching you to make sure you do nothing that might disturb the crime scene. I wouldn't want you using your conjuring tricks to destroy evidence, for example. Right. Well, anyway, I should make a start investigating in here. Doing everything I can. Cosmo, I swear. I will avenge your death. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, hello, sir. Hello, Russian men. Alright, what's this? It's my dinner from last night. A roast chicken. It was really tasty. Yes, it was very delicious, wasn't it? But, did you eat it on the floor here? I'm not a dog, Susato. Susato-san. I ate at the table, of course. Which begs the question of when and how the plate ended up on the floor. But Cosmo-san didn't like chicken at all, did he? No, that's right. So he didn't touch it. Which meant all the more for me. Oh no, does that mean poor Cosmo-sama spent his last night on Earth with an empty belly? Just too horrible. Ugh, now I suddenly have a guilty conscience and an achy stomach. Oh dear, that won't do. Oh, what's the matter, Susato-san? Whenever I'm examining things, I always find myself so focused I forget to look around properly. Ah, yes, that's not good. I don't suppose you're as foolish as me in that regard, are you, Naruhodo-san? Oh. I'm sure you're careful to look all around using the control things. Unless investigate all the corners of the cabin. Yes, let's do that. I suppose my field of vision has been rather small until now. Oh, that's handy! It's a little check mark saying you checked it. That's, super handy. They used to not have that. In every other game, they did not have that. Literally every other game. That's Cosmo-sama's precious sword. He never went anywhere without it. Yeah, he was always saying the Japanese man's katana is his soul. I believe he had to work very hard to convince the government to allow him to bring it on this trip. I suppose that shows just how important it was to him. And now he's gone. I'm not ready to let his spirit go just yet. It's some 2 weeks since we set sail from Japan. Have you really been living in that wardrobe the entire time, Naruhodo-san? I think living isn't quite the right description. Oh, no, I suppose not. Well, it must have been really rather exciting making his voyage on your own in a secret hideout. The trouble was I never knew when a member of crew might come in. So, yes, I did basically have to live in the wardrobe. And last night was no exception. But because of that, you had no idea what was happening out here in the cabin. No, sadly not. This is where Kazuma-san would have sat down when he was writing. God damn it. So much hair on my shoulders. It's actually getting, like, cramped up in my sleeves. Poor Kazuma, he didn't even make it to his destination. Just though his last entry was incomplete. Means what? He was in the middle of writing when the incident happened. Let's see what it says. It could be a valuable clue. Hi! That's out of the question. What? Kazuma-sama may have departed this world, but you must not read his private thoughts. But what if it's something important, something relevant to the case? Alright, I won't read it. Oh, Kazuma-sama. I don't like prying into other people's personal matters either. In this case, it's needed for clues. Isn't the need for clues more important? A very large traveling case, isn't it? Yes, it carries a lot of memories for me. Memories? What do you mean? Well, that's actually how I stowed it away on the vessel. I was brought on board inside that case. Ah, yes, I see it says "this way up" in Japanese. Which, in hindsight, I should have realized before the foreign crewmen wouldn't be able to read. I was turned over and over, and then I was tossed on the floor in here. Oh dear, being stowaway isn't as romantic as it sounds. Well, it was less painful than a Susato takedown. Oh, okay, whatever. Did Kazuma write that before he died? It looks like it's written in ink. He must have knocked the ink off the desk when he collapsed to the floor. Poor Kazuma-sama, no doubt he was in terrible pain. It's almost unbearable to imagine it. Suppose he was trying to leave some kind of a clue in his final moments, was he? I'm sorry, partner, but I can't read your writing. I don't think that's Japanese, Naruto-san. What? Then... Pains me to admit it, but I don't know. Not a foreign script I'm familiar with. What does it mean, I wonder? Hold on, sorry, I was reading chat. Oh, okay, so that's the whole thing, alright. Shelf. Books have fallen over on the shelf, look. They're all toppled the same way. And what's this? A statue of some god of the sea? Although he's fallen over as well. Yeah, it's almost like the whole shelf has been ransacked and everything mowed down at once. I wonder if fuck. I seriously doubt it. Then perhaps it was you, Naruto-san, in a fit of rage? I would have bothered leaving the wardrobe just to mess up a few books and a statue. But the way these things have been thrown about have anything to do with the case, I wonder? Well, I'll just set everything straight again. I don't like to see a mess. Hiya! Hey, Susato. Ryunosuke just messed with the crime scene. I thought you were going to prevent that. Hello? Whatever. Whatever. These are the rules for passage for the travel aboard SS Buria. It's essentially the list of requests from the captain to all passengers on board. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. What? Why are you staring at me? Oh, sorry, I was just thinking. Are you more of a dangerous object or a pet? Depends on what Ryunosuke is into? I can't decide. Well, one thing's for sure, either way, I wasn't supposed to be in here. What do you think this is? Looks like a piece of broken glassware. Whatever the thing was, it appeared to be broken clean in two. Glass is such a beautiful color. It's like a cute little Netsuke fastener for a kimono outfit. Hold on. Yeah, never mind. He wouldn't have secretly carried a cute little trinket like this around with him, would he? The mark beside it. What is it, I wonder? Yes, you're right. It's the color of brick, isn't it? Even though I don't see anything of the same color anywhere else in the cabin. Well, eh. Perhaps I should see what the Russian crewman makes of the scene of the crime. Excuse me? What? What? I was wondering how it's going. The investigation, I mean. Grandmother told me Japanese people do not make jokes, but it is not true, I see. Sorry? The criminal asking investigator for information about his crime. Very funny. Oh. I wasn't supposed to be a joke. Oh my god, JD. JD opened up like Battlefield 4 like 5 times just now. Big wall of fucking... This person has opened this game. This person has opened this game. This person has opened... Okay. He doesn't appear to be laughing either. He's convinced you're guilty. I might have useful information though. I have to keep trying. So, last night, did you notice anything out of the ordinary at all? Yet, of course not. Now back to the corner of room and make silent. I say no more to you. Do I hit a nerve? Just for a minute there, you seemed a little flustered. Seiki, the Japanese word for justice. The brushstrokes are straight and true. Just like Kazuma. Yes, his calligraphy was always a reflection of his heart. Yet can you really look at those characters without feeling shame? Knowing who drew them so thoughtfully? Of course I can! I mean, I'm innocent, so why shouldn't I be able to? Even though you stowed away on this ship? Now you're gonna bring that up, are you? I can't win. Hold on. Alright, let's see. Table. Table! Table! Why'd you leave your keys up on the table? You wanted to. There's nothing on this table at all. The blade and cutlery are over the floor for some reason. Yes, it's strange. Last night when I went to sleep, I'm sure everything was still... No, wait a minute. What is it? That's funny. I can't seem to remember anything about what happened after dinner at all. So then perhaps you are responsible for what happened to Kazuma-sama? No! I got all of this shit. Door. I went for help and the crewman forced the door open. This bolt had been firmly closed. It's quite a small bolt and not particularly sturdy. Just slides across to secure the door shut. But still, with the door bolted, there would be no way to get in or out of the cabin, that's for sure. It's no wonder everyone suspects me. He glares at me like that, I feel tense all up and down my spine. I remember reading once in a detective novel that the culprit used a needle with a thread to draw a bolt across from the room in a situation like this. Yes, that's a clever trick, isn't it? I'm an avid reader of detective stories myself. But the door of this cabin and the frame are made of metal, and they seal together perfectly. There'd be no possibility of using that needle and thread trick here, I'm afraid. She glares at me like that. I feel pins and needles all up and down my spine. Okay, what else am I to check? Oh, okay, I guess that. This is a bell-collared contraption, I think. Bell cord contraption. What do you mean, contraption? I read about a book once I was studying about... talking about life in Great Britain, oh my god! I'm so sorry for the yawning. Large households often have bell cords like this, which can be, you can pull to ring a bell to summon servants. Really? That sounds almost magical. Shall we give it a little try? Yes! If... in the interests of cultural research, obviously! They were both like... I don't want to say it, I just, you know... It's like, what if we try it, you know, just for fun, you know, just for cultural research, you know? I suppose nobody comes for lowly Japanese people. No, I'm sure it's just that everyone is busy, that's all. I can check the vent here. I think that's some kind of opening for a ventilator. A hole through which fresh air can circulate into the cabin. Isn't that a little odd? What do you mean? Well, just the ventilator. That's what it is. Looks like it must connect to the next door cabin. Yes, it would appear to, you're right. That's true. Perhaps it's so rain and spray don't find their way in the seas are rough, or something like that? I suppose. Maybe that's it. Hello, Sholmes. How are you doing? As far as I can tell, it looked like he might be European. Oh, how did he... You've noticed the man too, have you? I have no idea who he is or how he got in here, but he looks suspicious and tall, and suspiciously tall. No, Hoda-san, don't tell me. You really not know who that is? Well, no, I don't have any foreign friends or acquaintances at all. He doesn't look like a member of the crew. That's something very unusual about him. And he's investigating Kazuma's desk, or is he just playing on it? I can't tell. Well, in that case, we simply must talk with him. Am I just imagining it, or does Suisada-san look almost uncontrollably excited? By the way, I expect that you've noticed already, but just in case, press A on people when they're in the crosshairs, you can converse with them. Okay, yeah. Alright then, I'll get that suspiciously tall gentleman to my sights and see what he has to say for himself. Oh, please do. Excuse me? Excuse me, do you have a moment? Shh! This is a critical point in my investigation. Maybe I should leave him alone. He seems a little unfriendly. Yes, perhaps that would be for the best. Greetings! I hope I haven't kept you waiting. Ah! What exactly were you doing on Kazuma's desk just now? I see. Fascinating. Sorry? What do you see? He's looking like through me. Oh, yes, everything's clear now. Everything is clear now. The train of reasoning has run its course. My deductions have crystallized. You have been in Afghanistan, I perceive. Just recently returned, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, what? And now, whilst venturing towards foreign climes, you find yourself in a most troubling predicament. Oh, well, that's true at least. But how? How the deuce did I know that, perhaps? It was really a most elementary deduction, hardly worth explaining. Have you perhaps managed to deduce anything else? But of course, great many things. There is no mystery, my dear madam. For example, you have fled your native land of Russia, being as you are a merciless revolutionary. You leave 16 victims of assassination in your wake, and now travel to England to blow up the Crystal Tower. And when the beribboned occupant of this very cabin discovered your identity, when the beribboned occupant of this very cabin discovers your identity, you ended his life too. Yes, I believe that summarizes the facts beautifully. No need to hide the truth now. Nothing deceives these eyes. Ah! Just to be clear, you're talking about me, are you? Certainly I am. Do you see another in this cabin who fits the bill? A Russian assassin with 16 victims to his name? I don't even see one person who fits the bill. So it's true. It was you who did this to Kazuma-sama. What? And you were plotting a revolution, too. Shameful behavior, Naruhodo-san. Absolutely wicked. No, listen, there's no way Hiya! Now explain yourself. Tell me everything. This is ridiculous. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. How could you do it? For pity's sake, open your eyes. I'm not a Russian revolutionary, obviously. Oh, forgive me. And as for you, what kind of deduction was that? We're just saying the first thing that came into your head. Ah, but was I not right? Whilst venturing towards foreign crimes, you do find yourself in a most troubling predicament, do you not? Well, yes, maybe. Ha! There you have it, you see? What do you make of that, Well, to be honest, this ship is en route to England, and I'm in handcuffs at the scene of the murder. So I'm not really sure you could call it deduction, or just like plain observation. Indeed, an observation, my dear boy, is the basis of all deduction. My method is founded upon the observation of trifles, you see. I announce my findings with a brassy certitude, and more often than not, I'm right. I don't think you introduced yourself. Ah, my apologies. How remiss of me. I am none other than the greatest detective of the century, known to men and women the world over. The inimitable Sherlock Holmes. So, it's really you, the actual Sherlock Holmes? The very same. The inimitable actual Sherlock Holmes. Do you know this man, Susasuke-san? The most famous detective in the world? Naruhodo-san, of course I do. There's nobody who hasn't heard of him. What planet have I been living on then? We must ask him what he's deduced. He will have worked out the case entirely already, I'm sure. Really? Why do I feel uneasy about this? Dude, he keeps opening Battlefield 4. So, you're a great detective, are you? Sorry, what's your name again? Indeed, I am none other than the one and only Sherlock Holmes. Oh, I see. You're German? Sherlock, was it? No, I have no hair. I actually have hair. Please, call me Sherm. Please, call me Sholmes. You can read all about my exploits in this exciting London publication. Oh yes, Rand's magazine, full of wonderful short stories and interest articles from Great Britain. I never miss an issue. I have it sent from England especially. Ah, yes, here it is. The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. So you're the protagonist in the series of short stories then? Indeed I am. And you've read so many of your own stories, you start to think you really are a detective. Make no mistake, I am not the poor, deluded fellow you take me for. Your inference is backward. Backward? My trusty biographer records my greatest detecting achievements and chronicles them in a magazine. You have a biographer, do you? Doesn't everyone? Mine goes by the name of Dr. Wilson, presently keeping shop in London. Dr. Wilson? Dr. Watson. I must say, thanks to that publication, I've been fantastically busy of late. Why, this very moment I'm returning from Asia, having solved the mystery of a cursed royal crown. Really? I can't work out whether I should take this man seriously or not. Deduction, you see, is to me a science. Logical reasoning in its purest form. Second? love this man's flair. But science? Really? The astute observer notices even the most subtle of reactions in his subject. A furtive glance, twitch of a muscle, a slight inclination of the posture. Your Apollo Justice? Fingernails, arm sleeves, furrows in the skin. All of these things are data. Right. And the trained logician makes deductions from this data in the blink of an eye. The ultimate conclusion is, without fail, the truth. As I demonstrated only a few short moments ago. How can you look me in the eye and claim that? So you see, I have a turn for both observation and for deduction, and fame. That it was makes me the one and only Herlock Sholmes. Have you managed to deduce anything about the particular case yet? Have I managed to deduce anything? Oh, my dear fellow! Who do you suppose discovered the culprit in this most cunning hiding place? That's right. It was none other than the great detective before you now, Mr. Herlock Sholmes. Ah, I see. In other words, I'm in these now because of him. When I became anxious about Kazuma-sama this morning, I summoned all the crew members to force the cabin with the door open. And I concealed myself among that number, gaining entry to the scene of the crime. Yes, luckily for everyone, the great detective Herlock Sholmes was on board. And these handcuffs seem to be an excellent fit, Mr. Naruhodo. The very moment I laid eyes on the scene, two facts were immediately apparent to me. Oh, really? Two facts, you say? Two facts. Introduction just now. Oh, fuck. Mr. Sholmes, tell us, please. What two facts were apparent to you when you came into this cabin this morning? Ah, yes, but first, let us be precise. The two facts in question were immediately apparent to me. Yes, I understand, but what were they? Allow me to elucidate. The two facts that I deduced from a mere momentary glance at the scene of the crime were as follows. Number one, the cabin was locked from within, rendering the escape of the culprit out of the question. And number two, the victim was a Russian and killed the following dispute with acquaintance. Hold on, Mr. Sholmes. What made you think the victim was Russian? Observe the dying message left by the victim on the floor. Blah, 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 blah. That's the Russian word for wardrobe. Do you really think Kazuma-sama could have left a dying message in Russian? In their final moments, many find the native tongue filling their head. This young man, Russian. Kazuma was Russian, was he? Initially, I considered the Garderobe, maybe the name of the killer, a certain Robert Gard, perhaps. But in the interest of toughness, I decided it would be wrong not to look inside the wardrobe there at least. Where you found Mr. Naruhodo sleeping soundly. Quite, sir. I found the renowned Russian revolutionary killer. Why is it that I'm Russian too? I observed that you were wearing the same attire as the victim. In other words, you were acquainted. And if my memory serves me, the outfit is the traditional dress of the Russian people. Are school uniforms the traditional dress of Russian people? I had no idea. And I had no idea detective would get something so wrong. I took a photograph of the victim and the message, and I might analyze it, for the possible hidden details. Uh-huh. This was taken immediately after. This was taken immediately after the young man was discovered, before the body was removed. Yes, Cosmo had already been taken away when I woke up. The first time I've actually seen him like this. Are you alright, Mr. Naruto? Oh, yes. Thank you. A photograph of the crime scene has been entered into the court record. Can I ask you something, Mr. Sholmes? Watch, pray. You mentioned Russia before as well, didn't you? You know, when you said a fearsome revolutionary fleeing from Russia and all that... Ah, yes, the train of reasoning linked with truth. Would you mind explaining the train of reasoning to me, do you think? Certainly, if it interests you. How many times... I'm not Russian and I don't speak Russian. Hold on. I'm gonna take a small break. A small 5-minute. Just to wake up a bit. We'll be doing a short 5-minute break. Just you guys go get a snack, go get a drink, go to the bathroom, stretch your legs, feed your animals if you have any, if they need to be fed, and also let them out. And as always, we'll have our good friend Sora running the stream while we are gone. So I will see you guys in a bit. It's going to be a 5-minute break. 5-minute break. 5 minutes. Alright, we're back. So we'll be stopping at like 12:30, which is about hour 12 from now. Regular time, but you know, just with that weird minutes long thing that happened. Can we talk about your deduction before? The thing you concluded about me, I mean? Ah, the now famously accurate, troubling predicament you find yourself in. Actually, it was the other details I was more hoping to discuss. You know, the merciless Russian revolutionary and Assassin of 16 part. Ah, yes, the more sordid details. It's a fairly commonplace deduction. Here we have this morning's paper. The main headline reads, Revolutionary villain Bolshevik flees Russia via Shanghai. Via Shanghai. Two people. The vessel made a port call at Shanghai yesterday, and last night the young Russian was murdered. Since when was Kazama Russian? It sounds like Mr. Jones has concluded he was Russian because of what Kazama-sama wrote on the floor. It was a simple act of reasoning to realize that the culprit of this crime was the same merciless revolutionary. One who would kill the very man who helped him escape after his true identity was discovered. Yes, you, villain Bolshevik. No. How could it be me? I don't look anything like this man. Just look at his face. Well, you are a fearsome revolutionary after all. Therefore, you have no doubt learned to revolutionize your appearance as well. Ah, please. And I might add, your name does not appear on the ship's passenger list. Need I say more? That's because I'm a stowaway. What about the other details? The 16 victims of assassination and blowing up the Crystal Tower? Ah, yes, the journalist clearly interviewed the man and printed all those particulars in the article. The deeds of this man perpetrated thus far, and those he's plotting. Yes, everything about this revolutionary Bolshevik was included. There can be no mistake. Do revolutionaries usually agree to interviews with newspapers reporters, I wonder? And what about the part where you just said I was returning from Afghanistan? Also quite clearly stated here in the article. Bolshevik has recently returned from a period of subversive activities in the war-torn region of Afghanistan. Where even is it, anyway? This Afghanistan place. Here, take that paper for yourself, as a little memento of this great deduction. Oh, thank you. I have absorbed all that is of interest to me within these pages, but I see no rubbish bin nearby. Article of Revolutionary. And you may find the article on the back page of interest as well. On the back? Cast your eye over it sometimes if interest takes you, though you may need someone to interpret. It's all written in Russian. I couldn't hope to read it. But I suppose it wouldn't hurt just to glance at the article. Maybe be a picture or two. Right? This is interesting. Have you found something relevant, Naruto-san? Well, no. I mean, it looks like it might be interesting. I can't read a single word, I'm afraid. No, nor can I. But look at this picture. Perhaps this is about a young, beautiful young princess, a Russian princess, do you think? She is very pretty, isn't she? I suppose you enjoy articles like this, do you? I don't know. I can't make any sense of it. Ah, I'm glad you've noticed this article. Ah! Allow me to give you a short summary of its contents. Oh, thank you. I'm everywhere with this, Mr. Jones. It's about the disappearance of a young lady last night. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet is from Shanghai. During a performance in Shanghai, the famous dancer was reported missing. She is, of course, the talented young Nikolina Pavlova. Why are Russian names so hard to remember? It would appear the Roman? Aha, yes. The woman was in costume when she was found missing from her dressing room. During the diamond tiara, you see picture, which is some 20,000 rubles. Oh, how much is 20,000 rubles? How much is 20,000? I have no idea, but I'm quite sure it must be an unbelievable sum of money. Susato-san's eyes are shining like diamonds, the diamonds themselves. The tiara is the property of the Novovich Ballet, which it would seem the director is beside herself with worry. I'm not surprised. The company is most anxious to recover both Miss Pavlova and the valuable tiara. They've requested international assistance at all ports with sailings to Great Britain. Could this be another case of the Russian fleeing into her country? It does seem to be the Russian thing, the Russian thing to do. I'm not even going to dignify that with a response, Mr. Naruhodo. What were you just investigating? Before we started talking, you were examining Cosmo's desk, weren't you? Cosmo. Oh, yes, the victim. Did you notice anything useful? Anything at all? Observe for a moment the desktop of the victim. We see the victim was engaged in penning some text. London Diary. Cosmo was keeping a London Diary? Cosmo was keeping notes of the trip. Ah, but I don't think you should read this. I don't think you should read his private writings. It could upset people. Tragic. Oh, it's something you want to perhaps elucidate before the act of reading. You mean you've read it already? It is my business to know what other people do not, yes, believe it or not, I know a smattering of Japanese. Oh, I see. Well, you're about to know what Susato Takedown is. Susato's not gonna do it. Susato-san, are you gonna throw a detective with one of your trademark takedowns? I'm sorry, Naruhodo-san. What on earth do you mean? Life is so unfair. Anyway, to return to the matter at hand, namely this diary belonging to the victim, it would appear the final sentence is incomplete, as if the author were cut short. Tell me, what is the nature of the writing? Pray, to be precise as to details. Oh, but I thought you knew Japanese. A smattering, dear boy, a smattering. Sayonara, bonsai, mikado, nado nado. I trust you're suitably impressed. This diary is littered with complicated-looking characters, of which I can read precisely none. So what's all that showing off about before then? If you'd be so kind to show me, I would be happy to read it to you, Mr. Sholmes. I'm much obliged, my dear madam. Final entry here is in Cosmo's diary consists of just 2 short sentences. The first reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. A whistling sound? These are very deep waters. Pray, go on. Second sentence reads, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the Ventilator grill. A speckled band? What on earth does that mean? Oh, well, cool. We know the murder weapon already. At the beginning of this chapter, before, you know, everything was cut off during the stream, we witnessed a speckled band, a snake. So we know the murder weapon already. Okay. Ventilator grill, you say? The man was presumably referring to the lattice here on the wall, which connects to the adjoining cabin. Yes, the adjoining cabin. Cosmo's diary entered in the court record. So, I believe I've given you enough to consider for the time being, at least. Do you have somewhere to go? As it happens, the victim's writing in his diary have piqued my interest. The matter warrants further investigation, I believe, and if I'm still too long, the seasickness... And if I'm still too long, the seasickness takes hold. Oh, I suppose. You're thinking of investigating the cabin next door, which the ventilator connects to? Great detectives are a curious breed. Our minds are rebel at stagnation. We crave mental exaltation. So yes, I intend to investigate, hence the truth will become clear soon enough. You think perhaps that we could go with you? No, that would be somewhat complicated. What? But why? A simple glance at your wrist should reveal the answer. Oh, please. After all, you're the prime suspect in this matter, no? There's no point in trying to turn it into a question. You're the one who decided if I was the culprit in the first place. Whatever do you mean? I have no recollection of naming you as the culprit at any point. You must be joking. You just said it only a moment ago. Dear me, you are clearly misguided. I would have no cause to say such a thing. Well, actually, Mr. Sholmes, I did hear you say that too. You're quite sure? Well, that's very strange. I wouldn't have said you were the face of a criminal, you know. Not, really. So, what, you were looking at my knees before? Some detective you are. Well, anyway, there was then and this is now. What do you mean? What I mean, sir, is this. If you are the culprit, then you must play the part more convincingly. Roll over and accept your fate. Now he's just being plain rude. And off he goes. He laughed in my face. He's twisted as his... Naruhodo-san, what are you just standing there for? You must go and investigate the cabin next door as well. Aren't you forgetting something? What about these? There's no way I can get... Hiya! After Cosmo spent his dying moments struggling to leave us a clue, you're willing to give up? You're just going to roll over and accept your fate? As if you gave me any choice in the rolling over part. I think we still have some investigation to finish off in here first, don't we? Let's carry on examining what we can in this cabin. What? The situation doesn't look good for me, but there are still things I can do to help myself. I owe it to Cosmo to do everything that I do. Bring the real culprit addresses. Is that? Something wrong, Naruhodo-san? Oh, no, it's just the crewman standing by the door. I can't help feeling like I've seen him somewhere before. Oh, yes, you're right. He does look familiar. Excuse me, sir? Yes, what can I do for you? Oh my god! What the fuck? I recognize that face, but it can't be. It is. I didn't know you were here, Inspector Osanaga. Hello again. What are you doing here? I think that should be I think that should be mine. I was just stunned when I saw you. My heart stopped. Nearly stopped, I hope. I received some special orders to go undercover as a member of the crew on board this ship. Again? You certainly seem to enjoy undercover work, Inspector. If there's anything I can do to help you, please ask. I expected to see this man on board. Perhaps his presence can help me out of this hopeless situation. Fuck. What are your special order this time, Inspector? Yes, and why are you dressed as a member of the crew? I'm so sorry. Hmm? This is all my fault. I take full responsibility. For what? My orders were to act as Isoka-san's bodyguard. He was the Minister of Justice Jigoku, who pushed for this overseas study tour to go ahead. And he entrusted me with ensuring that Isoka-san reached Great Britain without being assassinated. Assassinated? How could that even be a possibility? I'm not sure, but these are complicated times. There are tensions between the world's greatest powers. Mr. Jigoku said we should be prepared for all eventualities. Hold on, I'm gonna turn off my camera and mic, and I am going to stretch. Hold on. Right back. Alright, back on touching. We're having all these pauses, but you know. Whew. This is incredible. I don't believe it. Kazuma-san was assassinated? Obviously, we couldn't give Hisugi-san a visible security escort. Which is why I'm undercover now, posing as one of the crew. I see. And I didn't take my eyes off him the entire time you've been on board. From morning until night, every day. But I never imagined it would happen here inside his own cabin. Not here on the first-class deck. I've failed miserably at my assignment. Hisugi-san is dead as a result. I'm a disgrace. All I can do is humbly apologize. Inspector. So if there's anything at all I can do to help now, just say the word. We're doing what we can to investigate Kazuma's death ourselves. Oh, I thought you might be. You didn't do it, did you? You're not the killer? Of course not! We'd really like to investigate the cabin next door. Yes, so we need to be allowed out of this cabin. I am sorry. What? You've been deemed a risk to the ship's safety. If you moved to even touch the handle of the cabin door, the stormy-looking seaman there would surely snap your neck in two. I suppose I'm not just a stowaway now, they think I'm a murderer as well. Would it be possible? You give me something to work with, do you think? I'm going to need something persuasive. What do you mean? If I had a solid reason why the next door cabin should be investigated, for example, I'd do everything I could to persuade the captain to allow it. Really, I'd say I lay my life on the line if I had to. But I don't see how. There may be a way. What? Really? Thinking how you tried to persuade me of your innocence, Naruto-san. By presenting a piece of evidence that you already have in your possession. Blech. God, I'm tired. Ugh. I don't want to end the stream early. We have an hour. God. Just the same as you are in court. You must have done it so many times during your trial. Please select the present panel and choose some evidence that Inspector Hosonaga could use. So, evidence that would give me a viable reason to go to the next door cabin, is it? Alright, yes. I think I might know what we can use. Alright. There's no present button here. Oh, never mind. Let's see. What's that? It's Kazuma's diary. Just before he died, Kazuma wrote something about rather strange in his diary. Strange? In what way? He wrote, what looks like some kind of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. speckled band? That is strange. We're still trying to work out what he meant by that. But what I'd like to know is... don't tell me. The ventilator, is it? Very astute, Inspector. Stop yawning! Ah! All right then. I can't leave this cabin at the moment. Stuck here until we arrive at the next port. Captain's given strict orders to guard the scene of the crime, you see. I'll have to entrust the investigation to you. Really? You're willing to do that? Yes, as long as you don't leave the first-class cabin area, I'm afraid I can't. I can't remove his handcuffs, though. But what about the captain? Aren't you going against his direct orders? Man of my word. I promise you that I'll lay my life on the line if that's what it takes to convince the captain. After all, I've had to keep Hisogi-san safe. This is the least I can do. Thank you. Let's seize the moment, Naruhodo-san. Just select move and we can leave the cabin at last. Hold on. January 748 says Berea. First class. Ah! My camera caught me mid-yawn. Cool. Ugh. Can't exactly fix that at the moment. Just gonna have to, Oop, no more camera. Hell. Need a new camera, and I also need other things. Okay. Phew, finally out of that cabin. I have to admit, this isn't quite what I was expecting. Less spaces out here than I thought. Came back, and the first thing I think is the frozen cam. Yep. And you are... We're definitely at the tail end. Oh. Definitely came back at the tail end of the stream. Yes, indeed. Kazuma-sama was being sent on study tour by the government. Back when watching Jackass 2.5. Ah. So he's being put up in the first class cabin. Even still, this is about twice as large as my accommodation in steerage. Really? That must be awful. Oh, look over there. That's another crewman keeping watch. He looks enormous, even if he is sitting down. The door next to him leads to second class accommodation. We're making sure that no one comes in here who shouldn't. Mr. Musels. I suppose, like people in handcuffs. Naruhodo-san, you look like a little boy visiting a toy shop for the first time. I would have thought you used your ship by now. Hold on. Since the camera is not at all being shown anymore, I don't have to have the ring light on, nor do I need the Nor do I need my shirt on, nor do I need the main room light on. Hold on 1 second. Now I can be comfortable in my own room. Yes, quiet. Yes, quiet. We've been at sea for 2 weeks already. Well, yes, I know, but the thing is, I was inside Cosmo's trunk when I first came aboard. The second cam is down. Release the second cam is down. Release my flesh clothes. And ever since then, I've been shut up inside that little wardrobe. It must have been a very trying time for you. Please don't give me that pitying look. The bugs are everywhere. Oh my god. Release my flesh clothes. God damn it. What the fuck is that? Is that a mouse trap? Ah, yeah, it is. Ah, a trap for catching mice. Yes, we have plenty of those back home in Japan. Mice are traps. Although they seem to be using a lump of chalk or something as bait. Let me see. Yes, I think that was called cheese. Made from the milk of cows. Hey, what the fuck? Pretty sure Japanese people have cheese? Cheese? I wonder what that tastes like. I am pretty sure the Japanese have cheese. You can't eat it, Naruhodo-san. The trap will snap shut on your fingers. Really? But... oh, I suppose you're right. She does the fucking... the ace attorney. Cheese! You weren't actually going to try it, were you? All I've had to eat for the past couple of weeks is Cosmo's leftovers. James, my style. You don't know how hungry I've been in that wardrobe. Or you. I'll find a little snack for you later. Alrighty. Okay, alarm. What do you think this is? It's a very pleasing shape, isn't it? What do you mean? That's an emergency alarm. It's probably best not to touch it. Oh, an alarm? It says press only in times of emergency. Looks as though this set alarm bells ring all over the ship and brings the vessel to a complete stop. Oh, this I have to see. What are you doing, Naruhodo-san? You mustn't touch it. But this is an emergency situation. Just look at these handcuffs. You know full well that's not what the alarm is for. If you're doing the vessel to a standstill for no good reason, you'd be in an even worse situation. Cheese is an emergency. Ever seen Wallace and Gromit? Gromit, have you seen my cheese? Gromit, have you seen my cheese? I've been seeing Wallace and Gromit in a long ass time. Oh no. Dude, don't do this to me. Don't do this to me. I've already had... You weren't here for when Jay unleashed a torrent of voices on me at the same time when I had to do it. Do not do this to me. It can happen anytime. Please do not. It was in the first stream. This is the second stream of today. Because a power outage happened. So just go to the first VOD. Oh my god, I have 4 viewers? Hello, people who are viewing. Hello. I was about to wave and then I realized, oh yeah, I don't know what the timestamp is. I don't know what the timestamp is. I was waving, and then I realized, oh yes, my camera turned off. Hello, 4 viewers. I usually don't have this many. I usually have 1. My God, this is actually kind of exciting. Oh, you'll find that. You'll definitely find the part where I was terrified. Alright. Alright. This looks like a plan of the SS Buria. It shows each deck, look. The Buria is a large-scale steamship with a triple-skinned skull. Triple-skinned hull, not skull. What a marvel of engineering. G must have been saving up for months. They hadn't been here in a while. So yeah, they were saving up for months, I guess. This is as bad as the massacre when you had them at like 250 points and I spammed. I don't remember. How is it that such a huge lump of metal just doesn't sink to the bottom of the ocean? Oh, that's really quite simple, Naruhodo-san. It is? It's magic. And the reason it's so expensive, and the reason you can't do nice things. Well, consider the Japanese archipelago. The islands of Japan? Yes, they're not metal, but they are enormous lumps of earth, many, many times larger than the ship. And they don't sink, do they? They've been floating happily on the sea since the gods created them. Well, I suppose so. Okay, yeah, yes, that's what we're doing here. That's a huge book on top of the table there. And there's a bed next to it. Yes, that looks like the ship's log. Captain's log. Shall we have a little look through it? Can't look at your channel when you're online. I mean, live. Just, there should be a way. I thought there was a way, huh? There should be like a videos tab up at the top or the bottom. I don't remember which. The writing is so neat and precise. Every detail about the voyage has been meticulously recorded. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to have such beautiful handwriting. Thought there was. That's so weird. And nothing? No reaction at all? Thought he might appreciate the compliment. I'm not sure rough and ready is much of a compliment, Naruhodo-san. It is time. Oh no, please don't. Much of a compliment, Naruhodo-san, even to a sailor, for a stretch. Jesus. Anyway, last night's log is mostly blank. Presumably that means there was nothing to report. I hope the stream ends before your points can be spent. Ryunosuke, excuse me, but could I ask you something? You little story murderer. That wasn't a good start. That wasn't a good start, was it? Stinkwaker's spiteful. Alright, let me try instead. Good day, Mr. Sailor. I'm so sorry to trouble you, but could I perhaps ask something of you? You little third-class lady's maid. Oh. How long am I streaming for? How long am I streaming for? Until about 12:30 my time. Yeah, 33 minutes. We seem to have caught the sailor on a bad day, Sasato-san. I am not a sailor. My mother gave me a name. I'm Senior Crewman Bill Beef Stroganoff. You can't see my reaction, but I am Beef Stroganoff. His name is Beef Stroganoff. His name is Beef Stroganoff. Beef Stroganoff is a fucking food, sir. That's not a name. That's a food. Beef Stroganoff. My God. Phew. The best thing is just to avoid eye contact, I think. Mr. Stroganoff? God, that's a weird name. About the first-class cabin area. Here we are in the finest part of Buria steamship for very important persons. What sort of very important persons? Government officials, kings and queens traveling in secret. Many important persons. That is why I am always guarding this place. Gosh, that's amazing. But somehow I let stupid Stowaway inside. Double strength Russian. God. I want to pick you up and throw you in the ocean. But Stroganoff is not animal. Thank you? If I may, I was wondering, is the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's currently occupied? I think that's a duh. Duh. Susato-san, do you understand that? It sounded like duh. I think it's probably Russian for yes. Oh no, I'm falling asleep. Genius. It is not permitted to visit other cabins without invitation. Well, it sounds like there is somebody next door in the cabin at least. Yes, it's tantalizing. Passenger in the next door cabin. Could you tell us who's traveling in the cabin next to Mr. Asogi's? His name is Mr. Grimsby Roylott. He is a very important Western gentleman. A Western gentleman? Do not think about it. He has nothing to do with murder of student boy. How can you be so sure of that? Mr. Roylott is authentic Western gentleman. Such a man would have no interest in lowly students from insignificant Far Eastern islands. You know, unless they destroy his port. Because he's assumedly American. It was a really poor taste Pearl Harbor joke. I'm sorry. I honestly probably shouldn't have made it. Oops. That was harsh. Could you tell us when Mr. Roylott came aboard? That is not your business. Come to think of it, you've only been at sea for 2 weeks now. I've been in Cosmo's cabin the entire time. I've never once heard anything from the next door cabin, or even felt like there's anyone there. Well, presumably since the gentleman is occupying one of the first-class cabins, he must be rather important, isn't that right? Is that right?
That is not your business.
Alright, you want to watch here all the time, Seaman Stroganoff?
Duh, all the time, so criminals like you cannot come in, or get out.
I wonder, could you tell us anything about last night at all?
It is sad about student boy.
Were you on watch last night as well?
Of course.
And did you notice anything at the time? Anything unusual?
I don't know what het means.
Sasato-san, did you understand that? It was clearly a no.
Oh, so niet. I saw nothing unusual. Nothing at all.
And you didn't hear any strange noises, or sense anything was wrong in some way?
I said no.
Sorry. I'm not so sure. I could have sworn that you wouldn't catch my eye for a moment there.
This is enough. I cannot say more now. Oh? It is time for me to report to Captain. You must return to camp. Yes, alright. Bulkhead to second class. Bulkhead to second class is staying locked at all times. You escape when lobster whistles on top of the mountain, or as English say, when the pigs fly.
Is this game implying that when the lobster whistles on top of the mountain is a Russian saying? I really don't think it is. Yes, I understand. Good, now we can investigate this area properly, shall we? Definitely. Okay, yeah, that's definitely ship's log. We've already seen the ship's log. You wouldn't expect a rough and ready sailor to be such a beautiful handwriting. Anyway, look here. Last night's log is mostly blank. That means there's nothing to report. Yeah, I already checked that. I don't know why it wanted me to check it again. Check door. That's the way to the second class area of the ship. Is something wrong? I was thinking about making a run for it. Just for a moment. Things aren't exactly going well for me. I might be wrong, but I imagine the moment you reach the handle of the door, that worthy seaman would surely shoot you dead. Oh dear, I'm sorry. Perhaps I went a little too far there? No, I started with my talk of running away. And there's no way I could run away while Kazuma's death remains a mystery anyway. This is it. The cabin next to ours. The one the ventilator connects to. Yes, the ventilator which Cosmo saw and wrote that he saw a speckled band emerging. Maybe whoever's in the cabin can help us solve that particular mystery. Let's ask. Knock, knock. No answer. No answer. We're out of luck, it seems. There's no one in there to help with our inquiries. How annoying. Ah! What was that? It came from inside the cabin. Such a high-pitched scream. It must have been a woman. Oh. Stand aside! I am about to break the door down. Mr. Sholmes? I shan't be stopped. When the fit is on me, I revel in kicking the doors off their hinges. Please, wait, Mr. Sholmes. The door doesn't appear to be bolted. It doesn't? Then how the deuce can I dispatch this muscular urge? What, pray, can I kick? I think we should go in. There's no time to think about stress relief. Who are you? A Western gentleman? This man looks Russian to me. We heard a woman scream. A woman? Don't be absurd. As you can see, there's nobody but me in this cabin. True, this old man does appear to be the only person in here. But in that case, you just screamed. Get out, all of you! Now! Please excuse the intrusion, but, you're Mr. Grimsby Roylott, I believe? Yes, that's me. And you are? I am the one and only, the actual Sherlock Holmes. You've heard of me, no doubt. No. I'm a great detective among detectives, one who adorns the covers of popular magazines, no less. So I assure you, you may trust me completely. Man uses that magazine like a business card. A detective? I do not trust detectives. We distinctly heard a scream emanating from within these walls. It wouldn't be a lady concealing herself within the wardrobe this time. So I might be so bold as to ask you to open that small traveling case. What? Don't be stupid! How could anyone fit in a small trunk like that? Well, it's quite fashionable these days, is it not? Traveling inside one's trunk. Don't look at me. Oh my, did you see that, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, the case just shook. Leave now, otherwise I'll call the steward. So this is Cosmo's neighbor, Mr. Grimsby Roylott. There's no doubt about it. The strange Russian man is hiding something. Couldn't agree more. Let's see if we can find some clues before that burly sailor returns. I think I'm gonna end the stream early. Honestly, we're not gonna get much of anywhere anyway with this. So I'm just gonna end the stream here. But do not worry, we'll hopefully be back Saturday. And if not Saturday, hold on. And if not Saturday, we will be here. Hold on Monday. So Saturday and or Monday we will be back with more of this. Hopefully without power outages next time. So I will be back then. But until I see you guys, on Saturday, I hope. I hope you guys are having a wonderful night/day wherever the hell you live, and bye.
We are so glad you came. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye now. Bye. Bye-bye. Remember, please discard all candy wrappers and popcorn containers in the nearest trash receptacle.